Russ Cam!
Hi, this is Russ Fustino with another great episode of Russ Cam. This one here, we have a co-host. Once again, that must be, we're in Fort Lauderdale, right,
yeah,
Dave?
we have co-hosts in Fort Lauderdale.
That's right. So Karen is here. I'm going to hand the mic off to her. She's going to interview both myself and Dave Noderer about a very recent award and a great award from INETA. So here you go.
Thank you, Russ. So yes, it's a pleasure to be back co-hosting for you down here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We're at the Code Camp, and I do have some interesting topics to talk about today that both of you have in common.
Yeah.
And that is the INETA Lifetime Achievement Award, which I know you recently received it, so congratulations, Russ.
Russ just got it a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
In the last week or so.
That's
great,
right.
Yeah.
And
congratulations. Yeah.
I know, we're both proud of you. And Dave actually won it as well before in 2008, so I happen to be standing next to two very influential people.
The two Florida awardees.
That's
yeah,
it.
So.
That's awesome. So, how do you feel about receiving this award?
Well, it's incredible. You know, there's only, about 7 people, I think, that have received this award,
something like that.
period. And so Dave and I are fortunate to be from the same state, so you got Florida locked up right on each side of you here. That's pretty good, huh?
I know, I feel pretty lucky, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, something about the words lifetime achievement, those 2 words alone is just like sends chills up your spine. If you ever, get an award like that, it's just, it means so much because it comes from your peers, right, Dave?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, I got it mostly because I was involved in the early days of INETA. And so I helped in the early days spreading .NET user groups around the world. And that's really where I got it. But now, you've been done so much. I mean, Russ's Toolshed is known worldwide, You don't wear your hat anymore, though, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll
Come
break
in
the
with
hat
the
out. I should have
suspenders
brought
and
it for
his
this
hat, yeah.
interview, but
And I also know that you have reached over 1 million developers out there, and that's part of why you also get this award. So I thought that was a really interesting fact I wanted to share with the viewers out there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And how do you feel about having received this award?
Oh, it was great. In 2008, I guess it was. Honestly, I don't remember the year, but actually at a code camp, a couple INETA board members came and actually presented me the award at code camp. I didn't even know they were going to do it. So
Now,
it was like really emotional, really, is what it was.
What would you say has been one of your greatest achievements in your career?
In my volunteer career
Your
in
volunteer
user
career.
groups, it was definitely working with INETA in the early days. Like I was in charge of the entire world, and I was contacting people in like 67 different countries. A lot of them I didn't even know what they were, So that was a lot of fun. Then we broke it up into different regions around the world, but for the beginning of INETA, it was all centrally run, so that was a lot of fun.
Now, have either of you used third-party controls in any of the apps that you've built?
Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah, I've used ActiveReports for many years,
so
it's a long-standing one. So yeah.
AR, baby, that's a staple right there in the industry itself. And I got to tell you, even before I had a job at Grape City and ComponentOne, when I was a Microsoft evangelist, I used to always actually show controls as part of my solutions that I would build in my seminars, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I've been talking about ComponentOne back then, several years ago, right? And so things come full circle sometimes, and I was able to at least have a little knowledge of the controls coming into ComponentOne, and now I'm really diving into them all and really learning them quite a bit. You just got out of the session on
And teaching.
our Windows 8 controls, right?
Yes, I loved it. So if you missed it, definitely catch it in future code camps. It was really informative. I learned a lot.
Thank you.
I started my company 19 years ago now, just so I could stay hands-on. I didn't want to move up in the ranks and be a corporate, whatever. So, but I love the community. I'm a community guy. I help run user groups, help run the International Software Architects Association here in South Florida, and I love running Code Camp and working with all the developers.
You're doing an awesome job, man. What do you think of your code camp here today? Huh?
Yeah, it's always fun. This is the 9th one. It's the 3rd year at DeVry at this facility, and it's always a lot of fun. You get to see everybody. I have a lot of help, so it's not just me. And I really appreciate all the help and all the speakers and all the sponsors. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. You know, I'm just a piece of it. So
I tell you, man, you do a great job. You hold a close spot in my heart. I know that, Dave. You welcomed me with, here's a story for you, with open arms when I first came down to Florida.
And I knew about you from my INETA friends from up in Boston.
See that? How that works?
And so I knew all about Russ Fustino. They said, well, you got to give Russ a good welcome. So I went up to Tampa.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, Russ.
It was a user group meeting in the Tampa Microsoft office, and that's where I met Dave.
But people didn't know who you were then. So
that's right. Yeah. Also, Dave was my very first interviewee on Russ Cam.
Wow.
Yeah.
So episode 1, you can look back for Dave, and then I interviewed you again at Orlando Code Camp last summer.
And I interviewed him last time
that's
too
right.
at
The first interview with a co-host. So
Superstar.
At IT Palooza, that was. Yeah.
See that? IT Palooza, that was fun. That was really
that
great.
was really fun. You told me about the after party too. Right?
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't go to all the after parties.
But there's one today. Don't worry. Right?
Yeah,
So, awesome. So one last question for both of you. I'd really love both of you to answer.
Right.
Now that you have been recognized by the community for this award, you in 2008 and you now, what's in it for you now and your future?
Well, I think Dave and I should collaborate on an app called, you know, Russ and Dave's Chronicles, right?
Yeah,
and
there
we
you
can
go.
chronicle the entire software industry and how it's evolved over the years. What do you think?
Yeah, I have a few years there. I could do it.
Yeah, we can incorporate some of our. He's got Sunrise app called the Sunrise.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of sunset shops, so we can put some Sunrise sunset shots in there as well.
Yeah.
What the heck, right?
Yeah.
Looks like you have some reading to do in the near future about these two gentlemen.
Yeah.
It has definitely been a pleasure to interview you both. Congratulations on your
Thank you
award
very
and your
much.
achievements. And why don't we tell them all what they're watching?
Russ Cam!
Stay tuned for photos after this short message.
ActiveReports, the award-winning .NET reporting tool for Silverlight, Windows Forms, ASP.NET, and Windows Azure, brings Microsoft .NET developers everything from familiar Visual Studio integrated designers to extensive APIs. Create reports ranging in functionality from form-based reports such as invoices and insurance documents, to transaction reports such as sales and accounting, to analytical reports.
Go to ComponentOne.com/RussCam to find other episodes and check out my blog. Don't miss an issue of the Russ Cam TV Daily News with feeds from over 400 industry influentials. Subscribe today at russcam.componentone.com. Plus follow Russ Cam TV on Twitter and Facebook.